Did your YouTube app ever look like this? Or do you know that we can use Chrome extensions in Android? Welcome to my top 20 Android tricks for 2020. Let's start. Companies often spy on you by secretly accessing your front camera. And this happens without your knowledge. And there are a lot of instances where huge companies were caught doing this. But the good news is you can turn off your camera when you are not using it. Go to developer settings, click on quick settings developer tiles. Now toggle sensor off switch. This creates a tile in the notification panel. Turning it on disables all sensors temporarily, including the camera sensor. Once you turn it off, they'll be back to working again. Multiple users. This is a feature that's there in Android for years now, but I barely see people using it. Still, if used right, this is one of the greatest features. So, first let me tell you how I use it. Whenever I wanted to do some work seriously, that is the time I get disturbed by my mobile. Notifications, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, messages, YouTube, news, calls, ads, etc. 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 So to overcome this problem, I usually create a user called work. This user will not have any app. I mean, this is a new phone altogether. So no messages could reach you, or even no social networking website could bother you. It's a complete new phone and no distractions, nothing whatsoever. Also, if you don't want to receive calls as well, you can go to settings and disable the receive calls option. If you are using an old phone or a low powered phone, games might lag in your smartphone, and in that case, you can do this. Go to developer settings, now search for these two options that I'm showing on the screen. Enable both of them, and now games should run better than before in your smartphone. But keep in mind, even though this increases the speed or the performance of your game, it drains battery a lot. So use it only when you are able to plug your mobile, otherwise disable it. Who doesn't like Chrome extensions? They are super cool and absolutely handy. But unfortunately, they are not available in Android. Don't worry, still there is a small trick you can use to get extensions. Enter Kiwi browser. This browser is built on Chromium and does support all Chrome extensions. Download the app, and once downloaded, open it and click on the three dotted menu, and then click on extensions. Now you will see this page. So you need to enable the developer mode here, and once enabled, open Chrome Web Store. Now you can use any extension in here and everything will work. Debian No Root. It's an Android application using which you can install an entire fully functional Linux machine on your smartphone. This does not require root and works seamlessly. Whenever you are in split screen mode, there is a handy way to copy text. That is, select the text and now drag it to the other app in split screen. It gets automatically pasted. It's a cool way to do it. If you are a tech YouTuber but you shoot with your mobile, then this trick would help you. Normally, shooting with DSLR gives a bokeh look, but with mobile, you don't get that. So to get the similar look, you can start screen recorder in your mobile and then open camera and start screen record. Put your mobile's camera in portrait mode. Now you get that great depth effect. So shoot whatever you want to shoot and then take that screen record video out. Now crop the top and bottom of the footage you got from screen recorder and then you can edit it. Now you will have a very good bokeh shot just with your mobile. If you know, Apple has a feature called AirDrop, which is used to share files with nearby Apple devices. But wait, now Google is working on a similar feature and this is called Nearby Share. Let's see how it works. So this is the image I wanted to share. Now click Share and select Nearby Share. Once you click that, it will start to search for nearby devices. When it finds a device, it shows the name. Click on that and your file is shared. It's actually very simple. But to use this feature, you need to have Google Play services in beta. I will give you the join link in the description. You can click on that link and sign up for beta. Once you do that, within an hour or two, you should get that option in your mobile as well. We all use Google widget on home screen, but do you know that it's customizable? Yes, you can customize it. Click on the widget and now in the options below go to more. Now tap on customize widget. Here you have different styles. You can change color, transparency, boldness, logo style, etc. This is really cool and I don't think a lot of people out there know it. If you know, it's really good. We subscribe to a lot of channels on YouTube, but the problem with that is you get notified a lot. And as the subscription list gets bigger and bigger, the upload notifications you receive are too often. So to manage this, YouTube has a small option. Go to YouTube and then hit settings. Now click on notifications. Here there is an option called schedule digest. This actually holds your YouTube notifications that you receive in the entire day and shows all of them at once in the time you picked. Google Lens comes with some pretty great features. For example, lens integration with camera. Yes, if you want to scan a QR code, then there is no need for you to download a QR application. Instead, open camera and point it to the QR. It works instantaneously and perfectly. If you have some business cards or any text you want to copy, Lens can make it a copyable text. It even supports AR for some images, like the one here. The behind is a static shot, but see how the clouds move in the lens. By default, Android has 3 to 4 different font sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. But what if you want to go beyond that or below that? There is an option for that. Go to developer settings and search smallest width. Now in my mobile it's 390. If I go less than that, the size increases. If I go more than that, the size decreases. It's just the opposite way. Now let's try going ultra small, like 700. Then this is how it looks. But the best part is YouTube loads with 2 videos in recommended just like desktop, and even Chrome changes to desktop look. Did you know that you can access any blocked website using Google Translate? Yes, you can do that. But a quick side note, this trick is not to promote anyone to access blocked websites. This is just to show how powerful Google Translate is, so take this just as a purpose of education. Let's start. For example, TikTok is banned in India. So visit translate.google.com page and now enter the link tiktok.com. As you can see, there is a redirection in the link. Click on that, it will redirect you to the TikTok website. You will still not be able to access the whole videos, but you can open it. But for some websites, you can completely access it. To use YouTube in picture mode, you should have a paid subscription, which is called as YouTube Premium. But with this simple trick, you can use YouTube in PIP mode without paying a single penny. So go to Play Store and download a VPN app. Any VPN app will work. Now connect to your US server. Once connected, your YouTube should work in PIP mode. If you are using a OnePlus phone, you would probably know about Zen mode. But if you are using any other phone, then let me explain what Zen mode does. This app locks you out for a specific time period so that you cannot use your mobile till that time ends. But this feature is available for OnePlus phones. But for others, I have an app. This app is called Stay Away. This has literally the same functionality of Zen mode. Once you open the app, you will be asked to select the time for which you want to lock your mobile. Select the time and click Lock Device. That's it. You will not be able to open the device till the time ends. Targeted ads. They are kind of annoying. They track you wherever you go till you make the purchase. But to stop this, go to Settings, then Privacy. Now search for ads. Once you see it, open that, enable the opt out of ads feature. This restricts the apps from tracking you. And you can also click on Reset Advertising ID to disable the current tracks. Magnify with triple tap. This is one of those features which is not as dumb as it looks. The concept is quite simple. Triple tap on the screen to zoom it. This has no great use except for one purpose, and that is while playing FPS games like PUBG or COD. Yes, while you are playing these games, you can use it to zoom into the enemies without having a scope. So if you are a gamer, then this might come in handy for you. Google Keyboard has some interesting features which I combined into one single trick. First one, you can click on floating to make Google Keyboard float. It can be made small or large according to your liking. If you want to make it normal, just bring it back, it will snap into place. Google Keyboard can be used as a translator as well. Click on the translate icon, select the source language and the target language. That's it. So whatever you type in the source language will be translated to the target language instantly. The final Google Keyboard hack is, if you want to make a word or sentence to capital, select that word, now tap on the capital button. One click changes the first letter to capital. 2 clicks changes the entire word to capital. If you like shortcuts and you tend to use shortcuts a lot, then download Button Mapper. This app maps your hardware keys to do some functions. For example, you can have actions like flashlight or turn off screen, or you can have applications that can be launched by double tapping or triple tapping on the button, or you can even have media controls like skipping to the next track or previous track. This is very useful and is very handy if you get habituated to it. Ever wanted to control your PC from your Android mobile? Remote App can do that. Download Remote for PC and your mobile as well. And when connected to the same Wi-Fi, you can see the desktop option there. Click on that. From now, you can control everything in your desktop. You can actually use TeamViewer also for this, but yeah, Remoto is much better than TeamViewer. It's fast, it's reliable, and the touch sensitivity is much better in Remoto. So you can try that out. So guys, that's it with this video. If you like my work, a sub to the channel would be awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.